Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination thrive. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Good morning to my geeks. Just got home, just got my food, was on the vodka stream for like 3 hours. Got some stuff done at the store. Did not get a chance to go see Toxic Avenger, but it pissed me off. I had a customer come back in town that I had not seen in a while, a Canadian. And as hard as it is to get my Canadians to come down, I had to push aside everything else and take care of them. So, still got a little bit of energy left in me. I have to get with Aaron. There's going to be a programming note. I am going to need to go see Toxic Avenger before I do tomorrow's show. So I am going to have to get with my favorite Aussie, and I'll message her and let her know we're going to have to move one or both of her movies to a different day. And I know she had something she needed to do as well. Yeah. Dude, I miss my Canadians, dude. You don't understand. Clint, you don't understand because you live here. You know, since the Vegas Golden Knights have been established here, we have had a cycle of Canadian visitors during the season and postseason and throughout the year that have come out here. And, we've got a pretty decent number of them. And there's some political things going on right now. And let's just say Canada is not as U.S. friendly right now as far as travel goes. So, I'm feeling it. But, like I said, they're slowly coming back. Hopefully the climate gets a little bit better for them. And we can get that flow back. Hello, Daniel. What's going on? Let's see. I knew that was going to be a scam. Get that off. All right, so this will probably be it for about maybe. No, I'm eating McDonald's. I didn't feel like complicating things tonight. Yeah. I mean, we've been talking about this movie. I mean, like I said, I know people inside of Trauma. They're excited about this, so I share their excitement. I grew up watching the original Toxic Avenger. So this is going to be, as far as I know, the first major Trauma IP to be remade by another studio outside of Trauma. So this is big because Cineverse and Lionsgate and all these people who collaborated on this have the means to put the word out. And this is a big moment for Trauma. I'm happy for them because it's big exposure. Even though it's not their movie, it's their IP. So when you start talking Toxic Avenger anywhere, you're talking Trauma. Tiger. Checking my email because I wasn't really on the computer today other than the vodka stream. By the way, go swing by the vodka stream. Give a like, subscribe. I was on there. Say hi. Almost caught up on Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. I am completely caught up on Dexter. And Dexter, I'm on. I just did episode 9 last night. If they can finish this off, man, this will redeem the show from New Blood, because New Blood sucked. Yeah, so am I. I mean, like I said, this is a really big moment. It was cool to be around him at Comic-Con because Toxic Avenger was there. They had a Hall H panel that I was not able to get into, but they also had screenings of Toxic Avenger throughout the city that sold out. They completely sold out. So I wanted to see it there, but those tickets were sold out before I even left Vegas for San Diego. But like I said, and I also knew that, we can get Lloyd on a plane and bring him out here. We can bring him out here and we can do something nice. And I have the means to set up something here. So, yeah, I'm glad he's here to see it as well. Having fun. 2 episodes in, I'm having fun. It's over the top, but that's what you expect. I like the storytelling that's going on here. I like the possibilities that are happening here. So I'm so far so good. 2 episodes in, and like I said, we're getting to those last. When we get to those last 3 episodes that he's kept under lock and key, it's going to be interesting to see just how explosive those are. Once again, like, subscribe. If you want to leave a super chat, you can do so doing the little $sign at the bottom right there. Or I use my preferred method, which is PayPal, which is on the top of the clean to the top of the chat. I like PayPal better than the super chat because you get the money immediately. With the super chat, you got to wait a month. It sucks. That's a lot of burgers that are unpurchased until then. How's everybody's money morning going? How's everybody's Labor Day weekend started off? Yeah, he does love Vegas, and I love having him out here. It's always a fun time. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm doing a couple of different things at once here. So. Let's see what this is. That's horrible. All right. Johnny Dome. Johnny Dome, this is the first time I've seen your name here, so welcome to the Sci-Fi Center Presents. Didn't know there are more obscure comic books based on shows like Spy Smasher from Fawcett Comics. Yeah, and you know what? Somebody else brought this up to me today because there's a lot of people who didn't know that that Atomic Blonde was based on a graphic novel, The Coldest Winter. Road to Perdition, which is starring Tom Hanks, was based on a graphic novel. There's a lot of stuff out there that people are familiar with, but they don't realize they're comics. Hell, I had somebody come in, and this is not an obscure comic, but came in and saw the Invincible books, a couple months ago sitting on my shelf, and they're like, they made a comic book out of that show, and I'm like, no, it's the other way around. So yeah, there's a lot of, but Fawcett had, almost everything that Fawcett did is obscure because they were put out of business back in back in the 50s, and then they finally sold Captain Marvel Shazam to DC in 1971, and then released in 1973. So yeah, we should do we should do something about obscure comics that people don't know about that have either been that are based on comics and made into shows or movies. Episode 2 was good. Not as explosive as episode 1. There were, no orgy. Yeah, like I said, it was like 90 something today. It's supposed to be 100 on Saturday, but even then, 100 is like 90 to me. I don't even have I have my fan on. I don't even have my cooler on right now, but it's 1:23 at night. So. Ooh, Breaking Bad. Binge watching that show, that'll mess up your mind. Yeah, Boston's definitely Captain Marvel. I mean, like I said, back in the day, DC sued them because they claimed that Shazam was a copy. That was the only error you could have won. If you'd have filed that lawsuit today, DC would have lost. Because DC was the big guy on the block back in the the 40s. The laws were different. Even Mr. Terrific show is in Mr. Terrific from DC. Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, and you might be referring to this. Mr. Terrific, the one you saw in Superman, isn't the original Mr. Terrific. Oh, wow, isn't the original Mr. Terrific. He's a second one, and if you go back to his history, the current Mr. Terrific was turned onto that role by the Spectre because he had lost his family. He was about to commit suicide, and the Spectre intervenes and says, "I'm going to give you here's a cause," and he shows him the story of the original Mr. Terrific, and his gimmick was he would beat you straight up, fair. No gimmicks, no tricks, no nothing. And that's why he had fair play on his chest. And that's why the new Mr. Terrific wears fair play on his sleeve. But as far as Peacemaker, was Peacemaker Charleston? I'm not really sure. You might be. Character's been around for quite a while, but it's never been used. Peacemaker character. All right, Peacemaker is the name of a series of anti-heroes originally owned by Charlton Comics. You are correct. And later acquired by DC Comics. The original Peacemaker, Christopher Smith, appeared in Fighting 5, number 40, 1966, and was created by Joe Gill and Pat Boyette. Smith was depicted as a pacifist, willing to do anything to bring peace to the world. The character would feature in a long-lived comic run and would later be revived by DC Comics after DC Comics acquired Charlton Comics characters. The revival saw a change in his character, depicting him as a violent vigilante haunted by ghosts of his past. Peacemaker would see a brief comics run and would later be killed, although another incarnation of Peacemaker would follow. Smith's incarnation would later be revived from the dead as and act as a mentor to the third Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. There's your connection to Jaime Reyes. All right. Uh-oh. What's going on? What do we do? Oh, hey, it's it's letting me know that I'm live. It's 1:26. I've been live for about a good 50 minutes. So yeah, good call there. Yep. Oh, well, Timely Comics came first. I think they absorbed the characters like Human Torch, Captain America. I forgot what the lineage of who took over who, because Jack Kirby and Joe Simon created him. Now he's currently published by my company. Yeah, Timely Comics is the one that Timely Comics, yeah, 1940. Rebranded Atlas Comics in 1951, and Atlas Comics became Marvel Comics. So it basically they just turned into them. I watched all of Breaking Bad. I did not watch Better Call Saul. Yeah, fair play. That's something he inherited because, like I said, when you look at the when you look at that, look up the origin of Mr. Terrific, the current Mr. Terrific, and you'll see that there was a one that was that preceded him, and that's where he gets the information. Yeah, the Spectre, I believe, used that hero to give him, because he had lost all of his self-worth. He lost his will to live, and the Spectre gave him that will to live by that character. No, I mean, there's a Mr. Terrific show that isn't even based on any comic show. Saying, hey, well, let's look. Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific TV series. Mr. Terrific is an American sitcom that aired on CBS on Mondays at 8 p.m. from January 9th to August 27th, 1960. It only had the one season. Riding the tide of camp superhero craze of the 1960s, this show's premise involved a gas station attendant, Stanley Beamish, a mild-mannered, scrawny youth who secretly worked to fight crime for government organization, the Bureau of Secret Projects. In Washington, all he needed to do was to take a power pill, which gave him the strength of 1,000 men. There we go. And enabled him to fly, much like Superman, albeit furiously flapping while wearing the top half of a wingsuit, to the often lamented misfortune of the Bureau of Secret Project. He was the only person whom the pills worked. It was established that although the pill would give him high strength levels, he was vulnerable to bullets. Well, that sucks. Furthermore, each power pill had a time limit of 1 hour, like Underdog and DC Comics Hour Man. Although he generally had 2 10-minute booster pills available per episode. That's convenient. Much of the show's humor revolved around the tendency of the amiable and yet gullible Beamish to lose Mr. Terrific's powers at the inopportune times before he completed his given assignment. It's kind of like the Greatest American Hero. Beamish's government employees were Mr. Barton, Jay Reed, and Mr. Harley Trent. Well, that sounds like Harvey Dent. And his day job partner at the service was Hal Walters. Beamish was sworn into secrecy concerning his alter ego and superpowers. Alan Young, who had just completed his run as Mr. Wilbur, post Mr. Ed, Wilbur, was the original choice to play Stan the H. Beamish had appeared in the original 1966 unaired version of the pilot, which featured a different supporting cast. Edward Andrews as the chief. All right, so there you go. Well, there you go. Thank you, Johnny Dome. You educated me. It sounds like a hoot. Wonder if I can find it. Mr. Terrific, 1966. You got to figure that was when Batman was coming out. Here we go. Oh, wow. You can get the pilot. Hold on. Oh my goodness. This well, keep in mind this is the 60s. So here we go.
A scientist, both wise and bold, set out to cure the common cold. Instead, he found this power pill, which he said most certainly will turn a lamb into a lion. Like an eagle, he'll be flying. Solid steel will be like putty. It will work on anybody. But then 'twas found this potent pill made the strongest men quite ill. So the secret search began to find the one and only man. What they found made them squeamish, for only Stanley Beamish, a weak and droopy daffodil, could take the special power pill that sent him soaring through the skies, fighting foes and fighting spies.
Oh, wow. Yeah. The 60s or something else. How about that? Yeah. Yep. Breaking Bad should make you scared of a lot of things. Yes. The Spectre was into that film. From what I know, there's always a different one. Somebody told me there was like a cutthroat variant or something like that. Stevens, Jules, Rubin. This is another first timer. Thank you for the two of you who have if you've been here before and I haven't noticed you, welcome to the Sci-Fi 7% Dig Y'all's Hour is a little community. I just wish in general I knew everything to add. You know what? You just being here is fine with me. And if you have something to add, that's great. But you know what? We'll the chat and we'll come up with stuff. But if you ever want to throw something into it, you can. But if you just want to watch, you're more than welcome. I was underwhelmed by Weapons, especially towards the middle, and I won't spoil it because I guess there's still some people who haven't seen it. But yeah, I didn't think it was a bad movie. I think I could have just stayed home for it, though. Just me. Yeah, COVID is not going away, guys. We will control COVID. We will manage COVID, but I don't think COVID is. I think the COVID virus is with us for quite a while. Now, let's hope to God it never becomes 2020 again, but I think it's going to be here with us. How you doing, Spot? Yeah, getting new viewers at 134. And hey, listen, man, that's why we do these things. No, we do not, Clint. Yeah, what you guys are saying for those of you new folks is every now and then I will do. I am a night owl, and I will do what's called a. I used to call them Benadryl streams because usually the reason why I was up is because my allergies were bothering me, and I would pop some Benadryl pills, and then right before I crash, I'd do a stream. This time I just have a couple extra minutes, and you know, I just got home from the center, and got my little fast food, and then I'm gonna head to bed because I got a big day today. Tonight, 8:00, we're going to be doing our a tribute to trauma pictures. I'm going to have some guests from the trauma organization on with us tonight. We're going to talk Toxic Avenger original. I am going to see it this afternoon, so I will be, up and ready for it. We're also going to talk not just the newest movie. We're going to talk trauma in general. We're going to push and promote Trauma's Trauma Now, which is the streaming app from Trauma where you can watch all of Trauma stuff, and you can sign up for the first month for free. So I want everybody who's there tonight to sign up. Yeah. Listen, all film is subjective. Like I said, once Aunt Gladys shows up, and I won't spoil it, the movie kind of goes downhill for me. Weapons kind of remind me of something like M. Night would do. Have directed early in his career, yeah. We don't I don't know, man. I say it would never happen, but then again, I never thought I would live through a pandemic, and we did. Oh, right now it's still in the theaters, but it'll probably be on who made Weapons? Weapons is who made Weapons? I'll let you know right now. It'll be on HBO Max. Yep, Trauma Now. Trauma Now. We'll be pushing Trauma Now. I will have on with us tonight Zach from Trauma, who is he does all their social media stuff, and we're going to be talking Trauma social media. We're going to be talking Trauma app. We're going to be talking Trauma films. We're going to be talking all things Trauma tonight to celebrate, this exposure that Trauma is getting from this from Toxic Avenger. We're going to talk old school Trauma. I was trying to get Lloyd on, but he's somewhere up north promoting the movie. Cool. I know some of them, especially Lloyd, who gave me a sign, Cannibal the Music. Yeah, he signs a lot. We've had him out here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you some of the stuff he signed for me. He gave me a animation still from the Toxic Avenger cartoon, and it's signed by him. And I also have a glow in the dark Toxic Avenger signed by him as well. I actually was more pissed off at Barbarians because Barbarians didn't fall apart until like the last 10 minutes. Weapons started to fall apart for me midway through. Like I said, once Great Aunt Gladys shows up, it kind of defeated the purpose of me being there for this movie. I mean, the mystery's up. But like I said, I don't want to go too far because I'm realizing there are certain people in our chat, even now, that have not seen Weapons. So, I mean, it's been out a while. Yeah, I mean, there's other people that love Barbarian. I didn't. I thought it was a quality movie. But once again, just like I was talking about Dave and the other guys on the Vodka stream, listen, I don't care how good your movie is. If you don't stick the landing, the end of the movie is part of the movie. If you don't execute the landing right, then it ruins the movie for me. I paid that ending is what I paid for as much as I paid for the beginning and the middle. And I don't want you leaving up to my imagination. I paid you as a director, producer, movie studio to entertain me. Yeah. Gladys just bought to my opinion. Yeah, that's as soon as I saw her and all that crazy makeup, I'm like, she's a fucking clown. She's literally Pennywise. All she needed to do is that little creepy dance that he does. All right, we've been on the air for about a half hour. I can wait the rest. Nope. You enjoy it. I didn't. Like I said, I enjoyed most of them. Just like Smile. Remember, I don't know if you guys were with me when we watched Smile on Thanksgiving Day. I had a problem with Smile. That ending pissed me off. Smile 2. Kind of like the Extras movie I watched in the theater where the demon did what he said he would do after 2 hours of people fighting it. Yeah. Hey, it's my fellow night owl. The glimmering harpy, Rhea herself. It's like you and Belle going back and forth with like food, recipes, and stuff. Again, hilarious. Let's see. Hello. That's one of my films of him that I like. The only thing I didn't like about Signs is once again the ending. I didn't need to see the Moss Spider-Man aliens things. I mean, they could have done away with that, the whole bat thing when they came into the house. The movie was cool when you just saw them running in the alleys and you just saw the news footage of them. I think they could have ended that movie without, the Joaquin Phoenix, swing for the fences thing. The overall movie was decent, though. It was decent. It's one of the better M. Night Shyamalan movies. Thoughts on rumors of RDG threatening to leave Doomsday over the script? I think that's I don't even think it's true. RDJ's being paid a lot of money per film. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't giving that money back, and he ain't going nowhere. I think it's just rumors and stuff, so I wouldn't go for that. I love the first half of Weapons. But the second half, like I said, you'll know when the movie's about to lose its wheels. The ending of The Mist is all right. Yeah, I keep hearing about this beef, but I've never seen anything from it. So, Brad is not here. Brad is probably curled up in a ball. We can't do it today because I had customers today. I did not go see Toxic Avengers, and I have to go see Toxic Avengers because of what we're covering on the show tonight. So I need to. Is it okay if we move it to next Saturday? Because I may not I probably will not have a Saturday overnight live next week because I'm still thinking about changing the format. So are we good if I needed to move it? Because once I looked at Wicked is 3 hours. That's 5 hours. And I know you have somewhere to be, and I can't start it at 1:30. So is it okay if we move both of those movies to next Saturday? Let me know. You can message me if you don't want to answer on here too. Moderately. I thought it was good. Thought it was a decent little flick. I don't. The trailers for that movie look good. We're promoting that movie. I will be giving tickets away for The Long Walk and him. Yeah, because it's a total of 5.5 hours of movie. And like I said, because of customers, I was not able to go see Toxic Avenger today. I have to go this afternoon after I get the store open and my help takes over. So I have to go while I have somebody to watch the store and then be back in time to get the show ready and then go live at 8:00. Are you going to LA Con? Who are the major guests at LA Comic Con? Who's there? Hold on. Stan Lee used to show up to that one all the time. I know I'm going to WonderCon. All right. Who do they got? Still tickets available. Pretty cheap, too. Let's see. Who's the guest? Tom King. Oh, Mark Silvestri. Those are the two. Andy Kuber's going to be there. Emma Coomer's going to be there. Wow, that's a pretty good lineup. Mark Guggenheim. See, I see a lot of the ones I recognize. See, Geekscape, Brandon Garcia, David Goslin, Tom Hartman, Lonnie Millsap. Just seeing who's I know I need to make up for the emptiness that I left Comic-Con with. Pretty good line. There's a lot of people that are going to be here. Guests, artists, and entertainment guests. Who are the entertainment guests who are going to be here? Elizabeth Olsen's going to be there. Paul Bettany's going to be there. Charlie Cox is there. Wow, Vincent D'Onofrio is there. Eden Hinton, Foggy, Wilson Bethel, Kristen Ritter, okay, so basically all of Daredevil is going to be there. David Tennant, Billy Piper, Freeman Agnew, Bryce Dallas Howard. This is a good lineup. David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, Catherine Van Dien, Denise Richards is going to be there. Dina Myers. Oh, so it's all the Starship Troopers. So you Starship Trooper guys. Let's see who else is going to be there. Maggie Robertson. I might have to consider going to this. Yeah, I'm guaranteed that I'm guaranteed entry for WonderCon. Let me know if you want. Like I said, I've invited Brad to come out, but Brad might not be able to come out, especially if he's coming. If we eventually get him to Comic-Con. Rhea, if you want to be at WonderCon, I got a pass for you. If you want to go? Fourth, like I said, I think I have up to 4 passes. I'll let you know. Yeah, I just don't know where the rumors are coming from and that kind of thing, you know. I had zero interest to Comic-Con, Clint, And then once I saw and then they showed us the first 20 minutes, and Mark Hamill was there talking to us. Then I was sold in. What film had the best? Oh, that's dude. You're gonna have to. We're gonna have. That's good. That's actually a topic. Wow, that's actually a topic. Probably get a Power Girl in the DCU. Maybe. I don't know what Supergirl there, but maybe. That twist question, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. That's I could say, well, yeah, because some of these twist endings I saw coming from a mile away, like Sixth Sense. I figured that out with a buddy of mine. Fight Club, that was a twist ending that I didn't want at that long ass movie. Oh, listen. I've been saying it to anybody who has ear holes. Foggy's alive. William 1000 take on Wonder Guy. I mean, I might as well, since they're giving me passes, and since they rejected me for Comic-Con, I might as well show up. And Todd McFarlane's going to be there, so that's my chance to get my Batman 423 signed. The first one. Oh, Chubby Checkers. No. Okay, I'll get with you. I'm really looking. I'm wanting to call myself getting excited. About this new Star Wars series. It's 5 years after everything, so that meets the criteria. I wish it was 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 years. I don't want any Skywalkers in there. So. Yeah, I might have to look at LA Con there. Man, the more I think of these cons, I wish I could get in the TARDIS and have a do-over of Comic-Con. If there's something I could have done in Comic-Con just to make things more memorable, or like I said, because out of all the years I've been going to Comic-Con, I still got a bad taste in my mouth about this year. I want to redo. I don't want to wait till next year. Damn it. Okay, can we do the watch party for Sunday? Because the first time I'm going to be going away with some family for a long time, and I don't know when I'm going to be coming back on Sunday. How about we do it next? Because Saturday for me is Sunday for you. So you're 12 hours. Aaron, hold on. Hey, Google. What time is it in Southeast Australia? Actually, rational, no. That any of them didn't piss me off. It's been a while since I've seen it though. What time is it in SE Australia? So it's 6:52. What? No, that a PM. So you are 12 hours. Because right now it's 7 o'clock there your time. So yeah, you would have to. We're gonna have to coordinate that, Ozzy. So what time Saturday would you want to do it for me to line up with your time? What time? Yeah, she's in a different time zone. But shit, but Australia, it has like what, 3 time zones? So. Well, I went to the beach too when I was in San Diego, so I stayed on the beach, which is kind of cool. Yeah, 2 a.m. actually. So yeah, we're about to wrap this up pretty soon. I'm gonna finish my food. Then I'm gonna go get some real sleep. The elusive goal of getting 8 hours sleep, which never happens with me. I don't think my body is capable of doing 8 hours of sleep unassisted. Aaron, we'll get with each other on message. We'll figure it out. Yes, he does a lot of twist endings. Hello, Chuck. Yeah, how long is Toxic Avenger 2, by the way? Shit. Not including fucking. $103, so about an hour and a half, about an hour and 43 minutes, hour and a half, just a little bit over an hour and a half. Actually, yeah, hour and a half. All right. Good, good. I hope he's great in Lanterns. Yeah, I've been on Graveyard. I've been on Graveyard in other countries too. So yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll get together. We'll get together because, like I said, especially if we do them back to back. Like I said, I didn't realize because I would have not have known had you not told me that Wicked is 3 fucking hours. Yikes, that's a lot of singing. You and Brad are gonna have to sing along. Screeners were not available. Screener. Not only were screeners not available, he wasn't available because my original plan a couple of weeks ago was to watch the original Toxie and have him on, but he was doing conventions. The guy's at a convention every single weekend. Every single weekend, he's at some kind of convention. All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. I'm on my massage chair. That's why I lean back like this. You guys can't see it, but it's got the balls and it's going up. You can probably hear it. But yeah, my back just cracked there. Yeah, yeah. Rather watch The Wiz. I don't think that's only 2 hours long with commercials. Not really. That whole fucking movie is a twist. Especially the original one. That and Ishi the Killer was just Jesus Christ. Maybe because a lot of the millennials grew up with Jon Stewart. So You got a lot of people who saw their first Green Lantern in the cartoon, didn't even read a comic. They just saw it through a cartoon. Whereas us old schoolers, Generation Xers, read Hal Jordan in the comics. The first time we saw John Stewart was in the comics. So that could be the case. I mean, it's distributed by Cineverse, produced by Troma, which is an indie, but also Legendary. So just based on those, and it's in wide release, so I would say no. Yeah, happy belated birthday. How old would he have been? See, he was 51 when he died. That was back in 2000. So he'd be like 67. Dude, man, he would still be relatively young, dude. Damn, man, I just wish these people hadn't done these things to themselves. Prince was another one, man. Like, fuck. Yeah, The Wiz is me. I grew up watching The Wiz. I grew up in a Motown household. So that's the Wizard of Oz we got to watch. Yeah, 67 years old, man. Him and Farrah Fawcett died on the same day. She died earlier in the afternoon of cancer, and he died about 5 hours later. Never forget that shit, dude. June of 2009. Yeah. So you guys grew up, and mainly because of the animated series. Because by that time, they weren't using Hal Jordan anywhere because he'd been killed off in the comics. And DC didn't want Hal Jordan around because that would be confusing for them, they thought. Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain. I know he's not the biggest celebrity to a lot of people, but Anthony Bourdain, his death shook me. His death affects me to this day. It affects me to this day. And I always say, dude, the world needed more Anthony Bourdains and not one less. Man, Anthony Bourdain, I was up when I was watching NBC News when Joe Scarborough, I was watching MSNBC early, Morning Joe. And it was 4:00 in the morning, and that's when I usually get ready to go to bed, usually on middle of the week like that. And they announced that. And it just, and they said of it, and it was the cause of death was given right there and then, apparent suicide. And that shook me. That was back in 2018, 2019. That shakes me to this day. So yeah, Anthony Bourdain. We need an MJ live show. MX Advantage Super Bowl show was legendary. Yeah, and man, like I said, Michael Jackson was just beyond iconic. Ease on down the road. Nipsey Russell. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that Dr. Conrad Johnson or whatever, he ended up doing some time over that. He was administering propofol outside of a hospital, which is not supposed to be happening. So yeah, he ended up doing time. Douglas Adams, that's the Hitchhiker's Guide to. Yeah, a lot of people say. Robin Williams. Jason David Frank is another one. Jason David Frank's another one. For some reason, it was just like a kick right in the balls, man. I remember being on the air when those rumors were coming through because nobody had verified it yet, and then doing our show the next day. It was just, Yeah, biopics are tough because it depends on the eye of the beholder. So there's some aspects of Michael Jackson's life that people just probably don't want to relive or want on the biopic. But if you're being truthful and fair, you'd have to put them in there. Of my generation, I mean, yeah, because other people's generation will be Taylor Swift but for like Michael Jackson overlapped several generations though. Michael Jackson was in my parents' generation with the Jackson 5. Um, Michael Jackson, there are still kids that listen to Michael Jackson's music. If Michael Jackson were alive today, he could sell out an arena to any demographic. So yeah, you could be you have you could make a case for that. Yeah, because he basically lived two different lives. Paul Walker's death too. He was only 40 and he died in a fiery accident. Eddie Guerrero hit hard, especially as a wrestling fan. And at 35 years old, 36, what we 30? How old was Eddie Guerrero when he died? He was in his mid 30s. I know that. I think he was 36, which is, you know, he was 38. He was 1 month away from being 39. But that was what was going on in that later era because of, like I said, I blame the monopoly because people did things to their body to stay out. And Eddie Guerrero was at the top. Eddie Guerrero was the top star. And you had to do things to your body to keep your spot. And I think that did long-term damage from like the 80s all the way up until that point. Yeah, 38 is nothing. 38 is you know. Yeah, well, and Benoit had a lot of issues going on. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a neurologist, but when they looked at his brain and saw all those dead parts, the empathy parts were dead. People still want to call him a criminal and all that, and that's fine. If you want to call Chris Benoit a murderer, you are 100% correct. But I do think whenever mentioning Chris Benoit, and I'm not excusing what he did. What he did was horrible, but I can't refute science and what was going on inside of his mind. He still did the deed though. So, but yeah, he was Eddie Guerrero's best friend. All right, guys, I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Gave you an hour. It's 2:05 a.m. I will see you this afternoon. I will not see you this afternoon. I will be going to see running the store, dealing with some scheduled customers, and then going to see Toxic Vendors, coming back to the store, and then we will do our Saturday overnight live. And that is going to, like I said, the first hour at least is going to be all trauma. We're going to be talking trauma. We're going to be talking trauma for a good hour solid, possibly more. We are also, one of the things we will be covering, and I stole this from John Campia, the 5th anniversary of Chadwick Boseman's death and the consequences and what ended up happening to the MCU after he died and what would have happened had he lived type of situation. So we'll be talking that. I'll probably have a couple of music topics and everything else, but we're mostly going to be doing that in trauma, and we'll see where we're at. We may do an open panel if people don't irritate me. So have a good morning. Have a good start to your Saturday. And I will see you for sure at 8 o'clock this evening. Be ready to talk trauma. Get all your questions ready. Talk to you then. Bye.